fucking people.
Yep.
So your son says if Mary aborted Jesus, this wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
What's the problem?
You here, you trying to force your beliefs onto people that don't share them. Jewish people don't eat pork. They don't say, I can't eat pork. They go about their business. Other people want to eat pork. They can eat pork. You people are out here telling women that they can't control their own bodies. Why? Because of a book that got written 2,000 years ago. It's made up bullshit, and it's not your body, it's not your choice. They're not telling you what to do with your dick. They're not telling me what to do with my dick. Why do you get to tell them what to do with their vagina?
Oh, God.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I want to have a conversation if that's okay.
Yeah, of
Can I move forward? I just don't want to get hit by a car.
Nobody wants to get hit by a car.
All right. I want you to know I record everything, so if you're not okay, just let me know.
Okay, yeah.
But so, do you believe in God?
No.
You don't believe in God at all?
No.
Okay. So, do you know that, like, why would you say God doesn't exist? Like, what makes you think that he doesn't?
What makes you think he does other than a book you read?
Well, just let me ask him a question.
Why, if he was up there, if Sky Daddy was doing Sky Daddy things, why is he allowing his favorite country on the planet to get to the point it has? Why is he allowing this?
I wouldn't say that America's his favorite country.
You wouldn't? Okay.
Yeah. But, okay, so why is he allowing what?
This. Why is he allowing this level of is there an end game? Like, I don't get why you people think telling every woman on the planet what to do is.
Well, my question is, you have a point of reasoning too. Like you think what we're doing is wrong.
Right.
Right.
I do.
And we think what you're doing is wrong.
Right. I think if you want to live your life that way, that is up to you. In the same way, if we want to live our lives this way, it is up to us.
So you have a standard of like what is right and what is wrong.
I feel like we all do. I feel like everyone standing here does.
Okay. Well, yeah, standard or belief, like, yeah, it's a belief. Well, what I mean is like, okay, a belief is a reasoning for why you make that reason. So the standard of why I make the reason why I believe what I believe is because I believe God exists. And his law is transcendent, and his word tells us of who he is. That's my belief. Okay.
That's great for you.
And then but you reject that. Like,
I do.
Okay. Okay.
I do.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
And so, where do you base your reasoning from? Like, where do you go? Hey, I believe this, and I believe this is right or wrong. Like, where do you get that from?
My rights as a human end when they begin on infringing on another human's rights, and that is that's the position that the pro-life crowd holds, is infringing their rights on other people who do not share them, and that's where my problem is.
Okay. So, like, what does it matter? Like, why do your rights matter? Why does it, like, so, like, your rights matter? Do you believe your rights matter?
Yeah, of course I do.
Why do they matter? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
I'm like, why do your rights matter?
The same reason any of our rights matter. Like, we're all humans. A cluster of cells is not a human. If I jerk off on the sidewalk, that's not a person. Well, when you're born, do you have your first birthday at 3 months old? No, you have your first birthday at a year.
Well, you believe in science, right? Science proves the existence of life and things and all of those things, right? And so, doesn't science prove that, like, when semen fertilizes the egg, it creates a human being, right? It's life, correct?
So it's a cluster of cells.
So when does it become a human being?
Well, according to your birth certificate, when you're born.
Yeah.
Okay, so only when it's outside of the mother, you believe it's a baby and it's valuable and has life.
As far as the government's concerned.
Is the government where you make your standard of right and wrong?
But okay. I feel like it's the route you guys are trying to go to get your way.
It's not the right that's not the route that I take. I agree with what God says in his word.
So you're pro Roe versus Wade being turned over by people that share your beliefs that are overturning it, but you don't think it is the government that is overturning it?
Yeah, I'm pro the law of God and the gospel. So like, I believe in God. I believe that He has made Himself known to all of creation, and that I agree with that. His law that says thou shalt not murder is right and correct, and we shouldn't murder people because God said so.
Are you pro death penalty or anti-death penalty?
Well, if the Bible says that if someone causes the death of someone else, right, then the equal justice for that is death. Yes, because the life is valuable. So do you have, like, if someone murdered one of your family members, what would you want to have happen to that murderer?
Exactly. Right.
Exactly. You see what I'm getting? So like, we have this morality, right, that it's ingrained in us because we value human life. Right? Like, if I was standing in the road, even though we don't know each other, like, I would hope that, like, if I got hit by a car, you would be like, dude, that's not cool. You know, right? Exactly. And same with you. I'll be like, oh, that's terrible, right? And so that's what I'm trying to get at is, like, intrinsically, we're human beings created in the image of God. That's what I believe. And that's why, no matter where we go, we have this desire for protection of life and human life.
What are they doing in there today, though, on Saturday mornings? Why are y'all here? Why are we here?
It's because of support for the women that have come to the point in their lives where they're having to make the most difficult decision they've ever made, and having to go through a gauntlet of people that disagree. Yeah. Here to provide just a modicum of support if somebody happens to glance this way.
But like, you care though. You have caring about something, right? But you said you don't believe in God though.
I don't consider myself the least bit religious person. As I was telling him, I'm
getting there, man.
Find a lot more in the dirt than the sky.
Care for women.
If I'm wrong,
Oh, yeah.
I don't personally think I will be. But everybody looks through that lens a little bit differently and finds it where they find it. And I don't find it.
I think where Kevin's going with this too is what standard can you stand on to say what these people are doing is wrong?
As we were discussing earlier.
Also Hannah did this
in this same vein, not the best analogy in the world. The Jewish folks don't eat pork. They don't say that you or I can't eat pork. They just don't, and they go about their business like that because that's their belief. This is that belief stepping outside of the structure that holds it and trying to force something onto other people's bodies that don't share that belief in a land where government and church are supposed to be separate.
Yeah, but you said that. What's government out here? I mean, there's no. I mean, now you're talking about Roe versus Wade. We're out here. I mean, we've been out here long before this.
Life versus. Well, I'm here to provide support for the women that have had to make this decision. As you and I said, we're both mountain folks. I'm sure we could find a lot of commonalities, whether it's a Braves game and whatever the case may be. But this is one we're not going to share.
But I just want to know what's your standard for saying why is this wrong? If you have no God, and if it's if we're just cells, and if we're just
I feel like if you went down the line, people that consider themselves religious, non-spiritual, not religious at all, completely atheistic, that if you ask them to list 10 things that make somebody a good person, there's going to be, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those that are the same thing. You don't have to be a biblical person to understand that it's good.
Well, what about what makes people a bad person?
A lot of different things that make a lot of different people bad.
Yeah, but see, and you could say, well, that's your opinion, Matt, and I could say, well, that's your opinion, Dave. And there has to be a standard.
Exactly. And different types of people seem to have different standards.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question? All right, what if the government said that it's okay for, like, you see the little red-headed baby over there? Well, what if they said now it's okay that if that's an inconvenience to you, you can kill him? What if the government said that?
That's one of the most absurd things.
Okay, but I'm just trying to trying to raise the thought of, okay, so you would say no, that would be
I do find a
bad.
difference between a toddler and a cluster of cells.
But you would say that would be bad, right?
Right. If somebody walked over there and killed that toddler that's like talking to its mom, that would probably be a bad thing. I think
What is this? Where do you base that from?
the fact that would be you walking over there and killing a kid in broad daylight on a sidewalk.
But why does it matter if you don't believe in God and you have no standard of righteousness? You have no standard of.
Because I don't believe in Jesus, that I can't conceptualize like things like murder or like.
I'm saying the reason that you do, the reason why you like that would be terrible, is because you're made in the image of God and you have a conscience, and the moral law is written on your heart.
What if we don't believe in God, though? That's the thing.
I understand that you don't believe in that. I know you don't. I know you don't, and I understand, because there's a time that I didn't either. But we can't escape.
The time I did, though, that's the thing, is I'm on the other side of it.
But see, the thing is we can't escape like morality. We can't escape that we actually care about human beings. We can't, because God has created us in His image, and He has said what is right and what is wrong. Do not murder. And that's why you care.
Right.
And that's how He's shown Himself to you.
Okay.
And that's why you can't say God doesn't exist, because He has revealed Himself to you. That's how, because you actually care about other human beings.